Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week's episode of Reconnecting the Dots, brought to you by Abdurrahman. Once again, I want to empower and help you to become the best version of yourself through this podcast, and I hope it benefits you. So, take a listen to this week's episode and let me know what you think. Hi everyone, welcome to Reconnecting the Dots podcast with Abdurrahman. This is episode 5 of the first season, Self-Improvement. Today we're discussing the new normal. And on that note, I would like to say thank you to Almighty Allah for keeping you on high till date, and especially for everything. And I also want to say a big thank you to everyone who have sent in comments, feedbacks on the first 3 episodes. Thank you for your encouraging comments. Thank you for the positive and critical feedbacks. It is so encouraging, and I really do appreciate everyone who have listened so far. All right, let's delve into this episode. What's the new normal? What does that mean to you? So, for me, the new normal is a different way of life right now, which we are perhaps going to continue to live that way because the normal is dead as a result of the pandemic that came up and which is ravaging the entire world. But do not worry, we will all get through this because we're in this together. And how do we, as people, as human beings, as parents, or as a husband, or as a wife, or as a community of people, how do we respond to the new normal? So firstly, let me share my own experiences with you as I have responded to the new normal thus far. Because as a result of the new normal, I started working from home. And of course, a lot of people, millions of people obviously started working from home as well. So, okay, what did I do? So first and foremost, I had to train my mind to transition into this new normal because it wasn't that easy. Although, to be honest with you, my transition process was actually very easy to start working from home. And the reason I'm saying that is because I had my prior preparation to start working from home, and I have prepared my mind. I have embraced the new normal, and I've said, well, this is the new normal. I have to start working from home. So working from home. So how did I actually, what were the preparations that was actually put into place before the start of work from home? So first thing foremost, I actually identify a space in the house. I mean, a dedicated workspace that is ideal to facilitate my daily work activities. And in addition to this, I also came up with a checklist of the following routines to enhance my productive day at work. So I'm gonna share with you a list of the things I came up with as an additional routine to help my work from home. 1, taking a walk around as needed. I mean, I don't sit down all day or sitting out just on the computer 9 to 5, just like the way we do in the office and all that. Because it's an ideal workspace, it is a space I have actually created for my own self to actually make it comfortable for me to help me be productive and to work diligently. So, of course, don't also forget that working from home or this new normal, we have to respond to it in such a way that it doesn't affect our mental state of the mind, because we have to be sane, because our sanity also matters as well. I mean, sanity is also in question here as well, right? So part of the things, and that was the reason why I had to come up with additional routine, to help facilitate a better work from home activities and all that. So the second one was prioritizing my work activities with a to-do list. And I also structured one day of work to attend online training, online webinars, and different kind of learning activities to enhance my skills, to enhance my intellectual abilities, to also help me learn more about different things. And in the end, I want to be able to also develop myself the more, my interpersonal skills. So, I mean, because it's new normal does not mean everything should shut down, right? So, you have to train your mind to serve you in this new normal, trust me. And the reason I'm saying that is because your mental state of the mind is in question. And for you to actually conquer issues like boredom or some type of emotional feelings and all that, these are some of the things you need to put into place and you need to take into consideration. These are very important things. All right. And this was the reason why I came up with this. Of course, like, we all have different routines or different things we can actually obviously come up with to help enhance our work from home. And so by doing that, so those are some of the things I was able to come up with, ever since I've been working from home since March. And I think it's 6 months already. Ever since I've been working from home, and believe me, it's been quite interesting. And in fact, sometimes some of the activities I do, sometimes I like, for instance, my lunch hours. I usually sometimes spend my lunch hours, turning on the PlayStation, and I play a soccer game, FIFA 16. I get online, play with friends, and all of this is just to help to keep my mind engaged as much as possible, just to make sure that I don't fall into a situation where I start to complain and say, oh, I'm tired, this is actually emotional, I don't want to find myself doing all of those. But instead, I actually turn it around in a creative way, right? So, and with that being said, I know that even this new normal, triggered a lot of other things as well. A lot of people have lost jobs, and people have been furloughed from their work, which of course that's like the only thing they have to, survive or sustain themselves. I want to say this to you. We are all in this together. Do not despair. Do not despair. Do not worry. For this time will pass, and I pray that God replenishes you. God grant you a more befitting and better job that will come your way. But I just have some recommendations. All right. And my recommendations are, just try your best to see how you can tap into some available resource. It could be in form of learning some other kind of skills, via free online webinar. In fact, some of the recommendation I can actually give you, there's a LinkedIn learning academy. You have a whole bunch of educational resource there where you can actually do trainings and different things and all that. So do not worry, everything is going to be fine, because we're all in this together. We're in the same boat and we're headed to a destination, and trust me, everything is going to be fine. Okay, so this now takes me to the next thing. So I have been able to share with you how I started, working from home, the things that I did, things that I actually put together to facilitate an excellent work from home for me and all that. And with all having said all of this, how do you then what other activities do you put into place to enhance your work from home? I would say that for me, like I said earlier, I had created like a dedicated workspace, and I managed to identify different other ways to make me much more productive. And aside from that, I know that even this new normal uh, has been a daunting challenge for a lot of parents who have kids at home as well. Trust me, I know how it is. I know the feeling, and because it's something which a lot of us have never done before, it's really new to everybody, and especially having your kids at home, and you also need to do your own work, and again you have to deliver on your work, right? I'm actually going to still share some tips on how parents can actually balance their work and at the same time able to help their kids to successfully also deliver on their schoolwork and assignment, and which there won't be any kind of issues at all. So but let me just give you some few info on that before proceeding. So just few things. So for those of you who apparently have kids at home as well, and of course you have to do your work, right? There's just one paramount thing which you need to take into consideration. You need to create a rough schedule for their day. I mean, what I mean their day, you need to create a rough schedule to accommodate the activities they need to do for the day. So it's just like you also have to engage them, right? So activities like lunchtime, playtime, schoolwork, dinner, breakfast, reading time, etc. Because if you have a schedule and they know about this schedule, then there's an expectation setting. So you have an expectation setting, they have an expectation setting. I'm actually going to talk more on this, when I get to the section of where I want to share a lot of tips, which will delve into more information and more details of how best we can successfully, survive in this new normal, and how best we can also, for those of us who are working from home, how we can actually successfully deliver on our work without any kind of issues, without any kind of problem, right? Now, so I have had conversations with a lot of friends in the last 5 months about the feeling of how they like how does the new normal, what does it mean to you? Like, how have you been able to journey in this last 5 months? I mean, some friends would say, well, it's not easy for me because I've always been used to waking up in the morning, taking my shower, getting ready, and to drive to work. See, there's one thing I personally have kind of identified, and I was able to see a difference in the normal thing we do and the new normal we do now. So what are these things? So see, when you wake up in the morning and you have your bath, you get dressed, you have breakfast, and then you drive on the freeway or on the highway to work, right? You get to work at 9, you get on your you get to your office, right? You're on the computer all through the day till the close of business day. So I feel that you don't even have time to do a whole lot of other things, because by the time you're back home, you're tired. You just want to observe your prayer and then get something to eat, and then go to sleep. That's it. And then the next day start again, right? So I see a different dimension in the new normal. So the new normal is such that when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to really, worry yourself of having to drive to the freeway or drive through the freeway to go to work and all that, because your workspace is in your house. Now, for me, when I wake up in the morning, after observing my prayers and all that, I do some exercise. I either take a walk around around the house. After taking a walk, I do my normal morning exercise so as to get me, healthy and, for health and wellness, pretty much. So, and when I do that, after completing that, then I log into my work, right? So once I log into my work, I just strictly work with my to-do list for the day. Sometimes I get to do, of course, like you don't get to finish the work for the day, honestly, most of the time, anyways. So, but something I've learned is that always leave work at work, right? So, but the thing is, when you leave work at work, that's why it's always good to actually prioritize your to-do list. So, the most important things, you make sure that it is sorted out when it comes to work, right? So that's how I have done. That's what I do, and that's the way I've always, that's the way my work routine has been since I started working from home. And I think over time, really, it's all about being able to embrace this new normal, because the earlier the better it is for each and every one of us. Because the truth is, just like technology, technology is here to stay, and technology has triggered a lot of development, a lot of innovations and all that, right? So just like the technology of going paperless, right now everything is digitalized, everything is electronic. You don't have to really stress yourself to sign any document physically. You don't have to be physically present to sign a document. All you just need to do is just get a document signed electronically. And trust me, in fact, while I was transitioning to the work from home thing, so a lot of things we deal on a physical basis, where we need to sign document and all that, they had to transition all of these things into electronic, because for those of us who deal with clients on a daily basis, I'm sure you will understand what I'm saying here. So what I'm saying is, of course, when you deal with a client, they probably need to fill out some paperwork, they need to fill out some documentations, and they have to sign it. All of those things have changed now. So you either want to do your consultations or your client services via Microsoft Teams, or you want to do it via the Zoom call, or you want to do it via the phone call, because of course some people actually do not know how to use the Zoom or things like that, because it's new to them and all that, right? So these are the things which I have come to understand, and I have come to realize that, look, it is better we actually embrace this new normal and respond to it in such a way that it works for us. We need to look more on the positive side of it. I understand there's an emotional side of it, there's a mental state side of it, there's a mental state side of it, and it's not easy. But trust me, we need to make it easy for ourselves. How do we make it easy for ourselves? By training our minds. We need to train our minds to facilitate all of these things to work well for us. and focus on the outcome and not the process. When I mean focus on the outcome and not the process, because when you focus on the process, it overwhelms you, and then you start getting into some thoughts about, oh, I'm tired, I don't think I can do this and all that. Focus on the outcome. The outcome is the result you expect. The outcome is, either you're supposed to get a document signed or something, or you want to get something really very important to do and all that. Focus on how you want to get that done, right? Focus on how, okay, I need to sign this document. How do I sign this document? Okay, I'm just giving it as an example, right? So an example of a document you need to get signed by you and by a third party, right? So the outcome is for you to be able to get that document signed. So all you just need to do, email the document to that person to sign his own part of it, his or her own part of it, and then you send it back to you, and then you get it done. That's it. So this now brings me to the tips for remote working. I'm going to share with you a detail on the tips of how we can best work remotely for those of us who have been working remotely. And I also want to use this medium to thank all of the frontline workers, healthcare workers, who, of course, do not have the chance to, work from home. But I pray that God continue to keep you safe as much as you can. And again, let me just also reiterate something here. Some of the things which I also try to put into place for me is by making sure that I follow healthcare instructions. I keep myself safe as much as I can, and I don't overwhelm myself with things I do not have control over. I try to keep it simple and straight up. That's it. So let me now take you to the tips of how you can successfully work remotely in the new normal. So one of the tips is structure your day. How do you structure your day? By planning your work day. How do you plan your work day? You plan your work day by having a to-do list. Having a to-do list, a checklist of items of what you need to do on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, in line with whatever your job description is or whatever your job task is for that day, right? So that's how you structure yourself. So because when you plan your work day, it makes it easy for you to know X, Y, Z specifics of what exactly you're doing. And I will also add that in your to-do list, your to-do list should be your prioritized workday activities. It should be your prioritized workday activities. Don't forget, you have to see it as an ideal workspace. You're not in the physical office, okay? So that's why you need to prioritize your day. Make sure you diligently deliver on what you need to do. Things that are actually very important, essential for you to actually get it done. So that's why you need to plan your work day. So the second thing is use your calendar. Of course, for some of us who have the Microsoft Outlook email accounts, you can actually make use of your Outlook calendar. Your Outlook calendar is actually very, very organized. It helps you to plan your work day or your weekly schedules, like meeting appointments, or you want to talk to your colleague, you want to do a whole lot of other things as well. So it helps you to be very organized. It helps you to actually know exactly what you want to do at specific time, at specific day, and all. So you can, and for those of us who also use who have the Google or the Gmail account, we can also make use of the Gmail or Google Calendar. So it helps you to also plan your work day. It helps you to structure whatever meeting you want to have, either your client meeting or either you want to have a meeting with your coworker or your colleagues or your project supervisor and all. And one other thing under the structuring your day is structure one day of work. So when what does structuring one day of work mean? So I'm going to tell you this. Okay. So for me, I one of the things that I structured for one day of work for me is a day out of my work that I actually structured to attend online trainings, online webinars, things that I pretty much know will help in developing my skills and will help to equip me, in and enhance my personal development. So that's one of the things I actually structured, out of the days of the work, Monday to Friday. And again, in fact, fortunately, my project supervisor also is actually in the know of this, because in fact he encourages the entire team to always get online to do some trainings. It helps you to develop your skills and all that. So which is like an opportunity for me. So that's one of the things I actually structure for my one day of work, right? So I'm sharing this so you can actually just have an idea of what it means to structure one day of work. And everybody has different things they can actually structure for that one day of work, but it's very, very important that you have at least one day out of Monday to Friday. Okay? Structure one day out of it. Maybe either having that time to look into things you have been planning to do before. For instance, my podcast actually was one of the things that I got to have time to eventually do due to that, structure of my work day and all that, and which at all it does not even disturb or does not actually conflict with my normal tasks that I need to complete at the end of the day. And trust me, at the end of the day, I am very sure for those of us who work from home, we have to send daily reports itemizing the things we have been able to do, itemizing the milestone of what we have actually put in our to-dos list that we actually intend to do. So because those are the metrics. Those are the metrics that would actually determine what you have done. Were you able to achieve all of those things? Were you not able to achieve them? Right? So those are the metrics. So the second thing, create an office environment. So like I said earlier, when I was talking about my own experience when I started working from, one of the first which I did was identifying a space in the house. I mean, a dedicated workspace. So that's one of the things. This is actually very essential as well. You need to identify a dedicated space in your home which has minimal distractions. Don't sit on the couch. Sitting on the couch looking down at a laptop will only result in potential mistakes, lower productivity, and neck pain. Why would you do that? Don't do that, because all of these things, don't forget that you're not working in the physical office. You're in your home. You need to make it as ideal as possible for yourself. You need to make it comfy and comfortable for yourself, right? So that's why you need to take all of these things into consideration, because your health matters. You need to be healthy. You need to be physically okay to function well. So another thing is identify what keeps you productive at work. And mimic it at home. So whatever anything you have always done while you were before the new normal, which helps you to be productive at work, just leverage use the same template to work from home, but in a different way. What do I mean by in a different way? In a different way, in such a way that you create it in such a way it is you align it to your work from home structure. Okay. And I mean, some people, do have different things that keeps them productive. Sometimes, is it hearing people on the background, putting on the news or music? Well, I think everybody actually have their so let me start again. Staying focused. Staying focused means that tidying up your workspace. So you start the day, for example, if you have to work at the kitchen table, clean up your dishes, wipe down the counters, take the garbage out, etc. A clean workspace before you start means there are fewer distractions throughout the day and you won't spend your breaks loading the dishwasher. That's a good one, right? So, see, I like to have my table clean, my workspace is clean and all that because it helps to it lessen the issue of distraction or anything like that. But when you have your table scattered, you have too many things on your table, it could actually distract you. So some people like to play music, finding the right kind of music genre to keep their work pace. Well, like I said, I like to listen to music while I'm working, but on a very, very, very slow music, and it's not even loud. I just keep it slow, and then I do my work. So it makes your work efficient as well. And like I said, everybody works different, right? So it makes your work efficient. So beware of the songs with too many words that end up showing people down or cussing them not to think clearly about the task at hand. And there's so many platforms where you can listen to music: Spotify, Google Play, and so on. So you can find different kind of music genre on Spotify or Jukebox, or different kind of music platform as well. So, and for those of us, if you have to co-work with a partner or a roommate, don't be afraid to tell them that you need to work. Hey, let me see this again. If you have a co-partner that you need to work with, right, or a roommate, don't be afraid to tell them that you need to work. If they are trying to chat with you, we promise that they will understand and it will help you concentrate. Look, it is very important. You need to do your work, you need to do your job. So make it happen by letting your roommate or your co-work partner know, hey, look, I'm actually busy right now. Is it okay if I just, come back to you once I'm done? It's very simple. Just make that happen. And these are some of the ways we can actually stay focused working from home. Okay. Stay sane. Stay sane. How do we stay sane? Our sanity is really important, in this whole time and period of the new normal. It's very important. Taking breaks throughout the day is very, very important. For me, I don't joke with my lunchtime. I don't joke with my breaks. I take break. I do not sit down in the same spot for the longest. I don't do that. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. Of course, I know that sometimes we get carried away thinking, I'm still at work. Oh no, I work from home now. So taking breaks throughout the day is key. Get up, move around, do something, stretch. Do some stretching. Take the dog for a walk for those who have a dog, or play with your kids. You will be more productive in the end. Block some time in your work schedule for workplace socializing. Let's say 15 to 30 minutes max, or slack on whatever tool you use at work. It helps curb the loneliness of working remotely. See, like I said, there's an emotional part of this whole, new normal. Okay? There's an emotional side of it, which also relates to your health and your sanity. Call your colleagues from time to time, check up on each other, see how everybody's doing and all that. Hey, just socialize, have some social interaction, discuss about other things. That way it helps you it helps keep your sanity smooth and going. It helps you feel good, okay? Because this is something it's not easy working from home. Believe me, it's not easy. Okay, so for you to actually, curb that loneliness, or falling down into, oh, I'm tired, I'm bored, that will never happen if you're able to just create out of your time, maybe 15 to 30 minutes, do some workplace social interaction, and you'll be fine. In the end, do what feels right and helps you get the job done. Okay, we're all in this together, so stay safe and healthy. It is very important, very, very important. So, of course, a lot of us, or some of us, we have project managers, we have project supervisors, and we have those we work with on the team, and we have those that report to us on the team, right? So, how do you work with your team while you work from home? Very simple. Now, as a lead person or as a team leader, your style of work needs to be very helpful and also accommodate, these are not new normal period to help deliver on the task as a team. You need to work with your subordinate, you need to work with your team members to help get the job done. So number one, as a lead person or as a team leader, you need to decide. Your first task is to decide how you will monitor the relevant electronic connections. Okay? The second task is to build a habit of using a proactive messaging. Your third task is to inform. Inform coworkers when you have a busy day ahead. This is very key. Communication. And then the last thing is decide a specific rule. If you need to decide some specific rule of engagement, come up with the rule of engagement. Let everybody know, so that way everybody can actually strictly follow the rules of engagement. It's that simple. Okay. So, we have talked about a lot of things. I have mentioned different tips. I have mentioned so many other things also with my own experiences of starting to work from home and all that. Now, there's one thing which is also very important as well, as part of how we can actually successfully survive in this all new normal period. So establishing a dedicated workspace while working from home is also very important. So I'm going to share three tips on how you can establish a dedicated workspace. One, working remotely, especially from home, requires dedicated space. While it's true that some people can work in a different physical space every day and remain productive, most cannot. They need a recurring, organized, well-structured pace dedicated to doing their job. Now, there's no perfect answer about what your home office should look like, though we do know several things you should consider in order to maximize your attitude and work productivity. Natural light. You cannot have your workspace in a dark place, right? Have your workspace in a place that you can actually see natural light. Rays of light is coming in, everything is clear and crystal clear. And again, for those of us who also get on meetings every now and then, we always make sure that we have a clear background, so whoever is actually you're talking to on the other side is able to see you clearly. That's it. It's that simple. So the second thing is find a way to ensure decent noise control. To be honest, the issue here is focus. What type of noise environment do you need to stay focused in? For some people, this means music playing or opening the windows to hear the noise outside. For most, it means creating a quiet space, whether you control that with closed doors or with noise cancelling earphones. Of course, temperature matters a lot as well. So, you see, so that's what I'm saying. So, all of this thing is all about you being able to make this whole time and period work best for you. Okay? And you have to create an ideal space for yourself. So the third one is for productivity, be sure to start using additional external monitor. Honestly, I said earlier that it's good for you if you have two monitors, two screens at home to work, because it makes your job easy. It makes whatever task you want to do, it helps you to multitask successfully and smoothly. So using an additional external monitor in addition to your laptop or computer monitor, they are very affordable today, and that's just the truth. Today, an extra monitor makes it so easier to handle multiple tasks and projects. Next, there is something fun you have to do. Make your workspace personal. Yes, so make it personal. Make your workspace personal. You are not in your so-called physical office. You are in your own house, and it's a work from home. Make it personal. Let it work for you. Okay? Now, this now brings me to the last part of the tips on how best you can work from home. So now I'm actually going to make the case for remote work. One, let me share with you 3 final ideas about working remotely to get you started. And I really just focus on those who want to work remotely, but have not yet found the opportunity. First, you have to be on the lookout. Speak to an HR or chat with your boss on a monthly basis about long-term possibility of finding roles designed to function from home or function remotely. Maybe an even better idea for many of you is to critically analyze your current role in terms of the tasks that could be completed remotely and those that require you to be in the office. Well, like I said, some people, of course, after this whole, COVID-19 or pandemic thing is over, some of us want to go back to work, to our way of doing before. Of course, some of us want to remain working remotely. So for someone like me, honestly, I am not prepared to go back to the physical office because I'm not sure. And, so I think it would be better for me to just continue to work in my ideal workspace, which I have identified and created myself in the house. The main thing is for me to be productive and to get my work done, right? So, and it's worked so fine, honestly. So, of course, then it is often the case that you will be able to make an argument to work remotely, at least part of each week. Finally, whether you're working remotely right now or not, be sure to be vocal and supportive of others who are working remotely. The more you can help each other become successful while working away from the office, the more your organization will all allow others to start working remotely too, right? So, believe me, you are in this together. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Remember, we are in this together. Stay safe and healthy working remotely. You have just listened to the Reconnecting the Dots podcast with your host, Abdurrahman. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Google Play. And thank you for listening, and see you all next week. Bye-bye.